going to practice talking about your weekend plans in English. In this live lesson, we're going to focus on future tense expressions to describe your plans. We're going to talk about going to and plan to, and we're going to talk about yes and no, question patterns, and answer patterns. Today, I hope you get a chance to refresh your mind on these key and very, very important grammar patterns. And also, I hope you send lots of example sentences in the chat. This is a very easy grammar point to practice. So as you join, please make sure to send a message in the chat if you're watching live. Also, hit the like button and share this video so other people can find today's lesson. While we wait for everyone to join us, hi everybody in the YouTube chat, Mr. Rotiverio, Jacob, Nathan, Natalie, what's up? I want to share, the team has a 40% off forever discount at EnglishClass101.com. So if you want to study with us, if you want more of my lessons, if you want study tools, if you want vocabulary resources like spaced repetition flashcards, if you want your own teacher, you can have so many different options. Check the link below the video on YouTube, above the video on Facebook, and you can find this page which has all the details. There are two different plans you can choose, Premium and Premium Plus. So now is a great time to begin studying with us. I hope that you take advantage of the 40% off forever discount. Not just one time, forever. So please check that out. Hi everybody that is joining now. Hello Rocky and Mino and Patrick. What's up? HP Pa. Hi everybody. Facebook is still joining, I think. Let's begin today's lesson because we are going to talk a lot about a couple of key grammar patterns, and I want to practice a lot, especially in the chat today. So let's begin with going to. Be going to plus the base form of the verb. This is a core grammar point. We've practiced this many times on this channel. Let's review quickly. So we use going to along with a be verb, meaning, for example, I am, or we are, or he is, or she is, right? So we change the be verb into a verb, a form of the be verb that matches our subject, right? And we use going to talk about 100% sure plans, right? For example, when I woke up this morning, I thought, I am going to do a live stream today. It was a 100% sure plan, right? When I got to the studio, I thought I'm going to talk about English in this live stream, right? It is a 100% sure plan, okay? So we know already before the conversation, this is the plan, okay? We can also use it for this is a key point, very confident or very passionate decisions in the moment, okay? Very confident or very passionate decisions in the moment. Today, we are not going to practice this one a lot, but for your information, this is also a way we use going to. So confident decisions. For example, a parent says to their child going to a party, like, you are not going to that party. You didn't finish your homework. Okay, that's a very confident decision, a very passionate decision in the moment. Today, we are going to focus on this. We're going to practice this 100% sure plan a lot. Okay, so let's get into our first example, and then I'll come to the chat. Hello, Matthias and Nguyen on Facebook. Welcome. We're going to look at this pattern a lot today. What are you going to do this weekend? What are you going to do this weekend? And many of you know, when we say this in speech, we reduce going to gonna. This question at native speed sounds like, what are you going to do this weekend? What are you going to do this weekend? So notice this part, what are and you all reduce together, sounds like, what are you going to do this weekend? What are you going to do this weekend, okay? And the response, I'm going to my parents' house. I'm going to my parents' house, okay? Also, a note, maybe you can see here, going to plus base verb, okay? Here we have this in the question pattern. What are you going to do this weekend? What are your actions? Here, however, we could say, I'm going to go to my parents' house, or if the verb is go, like in this case, we can drop this go to as well, just to use the progressive tense, yeah? I'm going to my parents' house this weekend, okay? So there are situations where you can drop this verb, or rather, when we use the verb go, we can remove it here, okay? But we're going to practice this one, where we need to use the verb after going to, okay? So you can send me your examples throughout today's lesson. Minnow wrote, I'm going to watch The Devil Wears Prada 2. Oh yes, that came out recently, right? Enjoy, I hope that's good. Nathan wrote, I'm going to cook amazing food for Christmas this year. Christmas, you are planning very far ahead. Okay, good. Rocky wrote, this weekend, I'm going to ask my friend in a text message to pick me up for a sleepover next weekend. Okay, cool, nice. I'm going to, what else? Hello, Guillermo from Colombia, and from Sao Paulo, Jair. What's up? Okay, let's continue. Let's compare this to plan to. Plan to. Okay, so we also use this with the be verb. Plan to plus the base form of the verb. Okay, so what's the difference with plan to and going to? Here is a big hint, right? You made a plan, right? So yes, we can use going to talk about a plan, right? I'm going to visit my family. I'm going to take a trip, right? When we say I plan to, it sounds like it's part of a schedule, okay? So something that is part of a schedule. Something sometimes that you might think, I made a plan to do this, but there's a chance it might change. Sometimes we use it in this way too, right? Like, my company plans to change their policy this year. Or my government plans to change this idea this year, or change this policy this year. So it may change as well, okay? There's a chance it can change, okay? It's just the plan, right? I plan to. So maybe something will happen in the future. We don't know, okay? But we want to communicate, this is my plan. Like 100% I made the plan. It's on my calendar, okay? But there's a chance, there's a little chance. That's how I use it, okay? Nguyen on Facebook wrote, I'm going to join next class. Nice, good example sentence. Okay, so let's take a look at plan to sentences. What are you planning to do this weekend? What are you planning to do this weekend? See how we have the same question pattern? Before we said, what are you going to do this weekend? What are you planning to do this weekend, right? What is in your mind that you think is your schedule, right? I plan to see that new movie, okay? I plan to see that new movie, okay? So this sounds like this is my plan. Maybe this person, maybe they have not bought a ticket yet, or maybe they are waiting to hear from their friend, if the friend is going to join them for the movie, right? So this sounds like I plan to, but it doesn't sound as strong as I'm going to. I'm going to sounds like I've decided, it's done, it's set up. I plan to sounds like there's a chance it could go, maybe not. But it's still a strong chance, but maybe something could change, okay? Let me check the chat. Mr. Rotovario wrote, I'm gonna take a run on the weekend. We say I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna go for a run on the weekend. Riviera wrote, I'm going to call my mom. Very nice. Okay, someone from Laos. What's up? Hey, sorry I can't read your username. Patrick wrote, I am planning to go to the museum in my city next Sunday. Nice. I hope you enjoy that. Guillermo wrote, I plan to travel to Germany. To Germany? In Germany? Are you in Germany now? To Germany? Okay, I don't know. Let's see, Nathan wrote, I'm planning to go to my friend's house next week to celebrate his sister's birthday. Nice, excellent one. Okay, so let's continue. You can answer some of these questions, but we're also going to look at these two. These two introduce yes or no questions. So, what are you going to do this weekend is the practice sentence we used earlier. Now, let's look at these. Do you plan to rest? Do you plan to rest? And are you going to visit anyone? Okay, these are very simple example sentences, but they use a couple yes or no question patterns. So, do you plan to plus verb, and are you going to plus verb. I probably should have done like that, sorry guys. Are you going to visit, right? So this is a yes. Do you plan to rest? Yes or no. And are you going to visit anyone? Yes or no. But we need to think specifically about the small differences in grammar between these answers, okay? So, I think, that's the page I want. Okay, let's cruise through this one. I'm so glad the weekend is here. What are you going to do? Okay, so this is a natural flow of conversation. Are you going to visit anyone? Are you going to see that movie? Okay, let's compare the examples, let's compare the answers to this one. Do you plan to? Yes or no response. So let's say, are you going to visit anyone? Okay, are you going to visit anyone? I am. You could say, yes, I am as well. That's fine. Yes, I am. Or, no, I am not. Right? Right? Are you going to visit anyone? No, I'm not. Right? Okay? Now, notice the difference in grammar here. Do you plan to? What was the sentence? Do you plan to rest? Okay. Yes, I plan to. Okay? Yes, I plan to. So notice we dropped rest here. Yes, I plan to rest. Okay? Or, no, I don't. And here we dropped the verb again. No, I don't plan to rest. Okay? So this is natural, to drop what we already know in the conversation. And notice here, we have two different grammar patterns in the response. Yeah? Are you going to? We answer with a be verb. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Okay? And do you plan to? We don't use a be verb in the response, right? Yes, I plan to. Okay? Or no, I don't plan to. Yeah? So here's your hint. We have a what happened to my marker? Okay. What happened to my marker? Okay, good. Are you? We have a be verb here, and we do not have it here, right? So that's one way that you can kind of get a hint about how to use or which response pattern to use, yeah? So no, be verb in the question, be verb in the response, okay? If you're not sure, you can just cheat and say yes or no. That's the easy way to cheat if you're not sure. Okay. Oh my gosh, what happened to the chat? Let's go to the next slide then. What are you going to do? Okay, I am going to watch a movie, right? So again, we have another example here where our be verb matches in the question and in the answer. Okay, I don't see anything new in the chat. I just see a bunch of messages that disappeared mysteriously. So it seems like a good time to move on to remind you that the team has a 40% off forever discount at EnglishClass101.com. Check the link below the video if you're watching this on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching this on Facebook. You can find all of the amazing details right here. You can choose from a premium plan or a premium plus plan, and you can find all the different details, what's the difference between them, on this page. So now is a fantastic time. Go check it out now after this lesson. Now is maybe better because you're thinking about it now, but you can find all the details if you want more of my lessons and study tools to help you along with my lessons too. So I hope that that is helpful for you. Okay, let's continue. In the chat, Nathan wrote, person 1, are you going to watch a movie tomorrow? Person 2, no, I don't. Remember, Nathan, are you going to watch a movie tomorrow? Are you? Check person 2's line, right? How do you respond? Oh, control desk. Am I on screen right now? Let me come back to you. Sorry, Nathan. Okay, Nathan, person 2 wrote, are you going to watch a movie tomorrow? Are you going to watch a movie tomorrow? Person two, make sure person two's response matches the question, yeah? No, I don't is for this type of question pattern. Try again. You're very close. You can do it. Okay, let's continue to negative forms. Wow. So we practiced this a little bit already. How do we use the negative? It's very easy with this, okay? Going to and plan to both use this pattern. Just put not before the verb. Easy, right? I am not going to work. And like we practiced with the question, note, we can say, I do not plan to travel, okay? I do not plan to travel. You might also see someone use a be verb in this pattern. For example, I am not planning to travel. You may also see this pattern too, okay? All right. Also note, you might think to yourself, well, can I say I do not go to work? That sentence is grammatically correct, but it does not mean your plan, right? I do not go to, for example, today. If you want to say today is your day off, you could say, you should say, I am not going to work, okay? If you say, I do not go to work, it doesn't mean just today, okay? I do not go to work means that's part of your regular schedule. That's a present grammar tense, right? We use that grammar tense to talk about regular repeated actions, right? Like schedules, yeah? So we don't use that to talk about our action today, okay? That's part of a regular schedule, a different grammar point, okay? So I do not plan to travel would be used, for example, this summer. I do not plan to travel this summer, okay? So note that there are a couple of small details to think about with these. Okay, let's use this now. Let's practice some negatives. Let's see. Try to think about these 2, 3 patterns to talk about something in a negative sentence pattern. Yeah, that's the challenge. We should practice the negatives. Don't forget these, okay? Are you doing something on Saturday? Are you doing something on Saturday? You might also hear, are you doing anything? Personally, that was creative. Okay. Are you doing anything on Saturday? Okay. I do not have any plans. I do not have any plans. This one, of course, we would usually reduce this to I don't. I don't. I don't have any plans. Okay. At native speed, this sounds like, you doing anything on Saturday? You doing anything on Saturday? I don't have any plans. So, you doing. This part reduces. You doing anything on Saturday? You doing anything on Saturday? I don't have any plans. So, personally, I would use anything because we use the any pattern when we make questions, but you may hear people say something. Are you doing something on Saturday? But personally, I recommend that. So, here's a negative. I do not have any plans, or I do not plan to do anything. Is also a pattern you can use. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Just some reminder words for the weekend, yeah? This weekend. And consider next weekend, okay? Keep in mind, not everybody thinks about this weekend and next weekend, yeah, in the same way. Usually, I'll tell you how I think about it, and then you can think about it and how you consider this. This weekend means the Friday and Saturday and Sunday coming up. So for example, if today is Monday, this weekend means Friday in 4 days, right? And next weekend means after the Friday in 4 days, it's the weekend after that, right? But sometimes there's a little confusion. When we are, for example, today, let's say today is Friday. Somebody might say, oh, like this weekend, I'm going to do blah, 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 right? And they mean, okay, that's this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've noticed some people will say like next weekend to mean like a week in the future when we're actually talking about a time closer to the present, I've noticed I have not been able to find a specific rule for how certain people use this, but I can say my rule for this weekend and next weekend is always this weekend means the Friday, Saturday, Sunday that is closest in the future, and next weekend always means a week after that. But I've noticed some people will say next weekend on, for example, if today is Monday, I've noticed some people say next weekend to mean the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming very soon. So please be careful about that. If it's not clear to you when you're talking to someone, maybe chat with them a little bit. I've noticed that with native English speakers, that sometimes people use next weekend on like Monday, but they mean the weekend coming up. So be careful of that. Okay, then, that was a long explanation, but so let's talk about this preposition. A reminder, for the days of the week we use on, right? On Monday, on Tuesday, on Saturday. And we can use the time of day after that, okay? Sunday morning, or afternoon, or evening, okay? And if you want to use this along with this, hey, we're having a dinner party on Saturday. You can say in the evening or in the afternoon, or you can just say, hey, we're having a dinner party Sunday evening and drop the preposition. That's also okay. There is some flexibility, okay? So choose, we're having a dinner party on Saturday in the evening, or we're having a dinner party Sunday evening is also okay. It sounds natural to drop the preposition in those cases. Okay. Oh my gosh, I've missed some things in the chat. Let me review. Okay. Oh my gosh, where do I pick it up? Patrick wrote, is it correct to say I'm going to go visit my father next month in another city? Yes, that's fine. Personally, that's fine. I'm going to go visit. I would say I'm going to visit. You have go and visit together as your two verbs there. I'm going to visit is okay. Or just I'm visiting is also very efficient. I'm visiting my father next month in another city is another good way to say that. I like to talk efficiently. It's like I'm visiting my father in another city. That's what I would say. Rocky wrote, sadly, my family and I are not going to a shopping mall. Okay, good negative. Awesome, Hyena, you learned grammar rules. That is fantastic. The team is very happy to hear that, I'm sure. Patrick wrote, they aren't going to play soccer next Saturday at the stadium. And Nathan wrote, finally, person one, finally, it's the weekend. Have any plans for this weekend? Person two, I'm planning to go to my aunt's house Saturday afternoon. Yeah, you got it. Just don't forget my aunt's, right? Your aunt, right? Not your friend's aunt, right? I'm planning to go to my aunt's house Saturday afternoon. Then it's perfect. Nice use of today's grammar point, Nathan. Okay, let's continue. An example. I'm going to see a play on Sunday. Sounds like fun, okay? You could include, I'm going to see a play on Sunday evening or on Sunday afternoon, right? You can include details there. Key point, don't forget your preposition. Some people will drop it, but it's good to remember this is the preposition that we should use here. Okay, how am I doing for time? I have 5 more minutes, woohoo! Okay, good. All right, now let's take a look at invitations and offers. Okay, how do we deal with this? Pattern 1, would you like to come with me? So let's imagine this situation. I'm going to see a play on Sunday. Let's say this person says, would you like to come with me? Okay? Or do you want to join me? Right? This is an offer or an invitation, right? How do we respond? Would you like to come with me? Yes, I would. Or yes, I would love to. Okay? Or sorry, I can't make it. Sorry, I can't make it. This is nicer. Like, I'm going to mark this with an X, but if you say, no, I would not, would you like to come with me? No, I would not. It sounds rude. So while it's correct, this is correct, but it's not nice. So, no, I would not. I do not recommend you use this, but it is grammatically correct. You might hear someone use this response as a joke, right? Would you like to come with me? No. I would not. So maybe someone could use that as a joke with someone they're very close to. Usually, it's more polite to say, sorry, I can't make it, or sorry, I have plans, okay? This is a polite way to refuse the invitation. Let's look at another example of an invitation. Do you want to go to the park? At native speed, do you want to go to the park? Notice we have this do you pattern, a do question, yes or no. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm studying. Or no, thank you. I'm working, right? Or sure, I'll join you, right? That's a nice casual way to say I will go. Note though, this response uses will. I will join you. If you've seen my lessons before, you probably know that will is used, we're not talking about it today, as a focus grammar point, but will is used for an in-the-moment decision. Sure, I'll join you. Will is appropriate here because we just made the decision. Sure, I'll join you. It would be very strange to say, sure, I'm going to join you. It sounds like, you just decided, but we use going to for a plan that's 100% sure before the conversation. For that reason, will is a more natural, is the correct choice here. Sure, I'll join you. Okay. Good. Let's continue. I don't see any questions or comments in the chat bottom. Examples. I'm seeing a movie tomorrow. Would you like to come with me? Yes, I would. Thank you for inviting me. Perfect. So, would you like to? Yes, I would, right? You can use this matching, this question and answer matching pattern to help you decide how to answer the question. Would you like to come with me? Yes, I would. Thank you for inviting me. Okay. Here are a few vocabulary words to refresh your mind about the different places you can go on the weekend. So we talked about the park. We talked about malls, shopping malls earlier. Cinema, you might also hear in American English more commonly, movie theater. Movie theater. So in American English, we usually say movie theater, movie theater. British English and some other forms may use cinema more commonly. We have cafe and a friend's house, museum, all kinds of different places, the beach, the mountains, right? So just to refresh you, there are a number of different places we can go on the weekend. Okay, I think we're close to the end. Oh, I am not. Okay, I forgot. All right, good, because I still have a little time left. Common places, let's take a look. I'm going to blank. Would you like to come? What would you choose? I am going to blank. Would you like to come? I am going to my house. I am going to my office. I am going to Jen's house. Would you like to come? This one is tricky because this is more a manners and societal relationships kind of question, right? I am going to blah, blah, blah. Okay. First, all of these are grammatically correct. All of these examples are grammatically correct. My house, my office, and Jen's house are grammatically correct. However, there's only one answer here that usually is appropriate in terms of manners. I'm going to Jen's house. Does Jen know that you are inviting someone, right? This is probably, if Jen is having a party and everybody knows about it, okay. I'm going to Jen's house party is okay. But if you have a plan to go to Jen's house and Jen doesn't know another person is coming, that's very rude. To invite someone else that Jen doesn't know about is rude. So we don't recommend doing this unless maybe you have a great relationship with Jen or something special is happening. I don't know. Second one, I'm going to my office. Would you like to come? That's kind of strange. Why would you invite somebody to your workplace? Are you going to hang out? Are you going to watch a movie? Are you going to have drinks and snacks together at the office? That's really strange, right? So these two aren't really very natural choices. Okay? I'm going to my house. Okay, this, you might think, well, why? Why would I say I'm going to my house? Imagine this conversation is like you are out right now, right? You're on the phone. You call your friend. You're out shopping. Hey, I'm going to my house. Would you like to come? Like, come over for a party, right? I'm going to my house soon. Like, come join me, okay? So this one is going to sound natural if you are out somewhere. If you are, maybe I'll mark this with a triangle. If you are planning to go to someone else's party, someone else's house, this one could be appropriate. So it depends a lot on the context. The answer of this one depends a lot on the context, okay? I'm going to my house. Would you like to come? Like, I'm shopping for something. Please come to my house if you want to. If there is a party or if there is something happening and Jen knows about it, it is okay to use this one. This one is very strange, okay? So this is an answer that depends a lot on the situation at the time, okay? All right, Rocky, it is a little confusing, right? You have to think about the context of the situation, yeah? Because all of these are correct, right? If you're out shopping, hey, I'm going to my house, like, do you want to come over, right? That's a really common way to invite a friend to come to your house, right? I'm going to my house, like come over, have some drinks with me. That's a common way to invite a friend over. If you're going to a party, it could be good, but you have to know the context and the situation. So tricky one, tricky one. Okay, let's go, to the last reminder. Is this the last one? I can't remember. Let's look at this and then I'll remind you quickly. Okay, so today we talked about using going to and plan to talk about your plans, right? We also talked about short questions and short replies, right? And we also talked a little bit about the prepositions like on Sunday, Sunday evening, and so on. So don't forget those little words. But again, today we talked about using those going to and plan to and even will a little bit for your future plans. Okay, if you missed it, I'll remind you one final time. The team has a 40% off discount. Woo. So check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, above the video if you're watching on Facebook, to get the information. Ta-da! I think Control Desk is showing you now. So find this from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. Okay, I have to finish there for now. So next week, we'll be back. Next week's topic is ordering food in American restaurants. We don't have to be specifically like about American restaurants. This is just going to be ordering food. We're going to practice ordering food. What are the vocabulary words we need to know to order food? What are the kind of special things we need to think about or consider when we're ordering food? So please join me for that very important one, because when we go to a restaurant, we need to make sure we are clear, right? So please join me again next week. That will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it or set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube so you get a pop-up when we start this lesson. Yeah? All right, so I have to say goodbye for this week. Thank you to everybody for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, have a great week. Whatever you are going to do this weekend, I hope it is fantastic and restful for you. So I'll say goodbye. Thanks very much for joining me. Thanks for your great comments, for liking and sharing the video. Have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye.